It took me 5 years to be able to gain admission to study medicine and surgery in University of Ibadan. And I was wondering if I had found someone that had the same experience as myself, advising me on what to do, what to avoid, probably the year I actually spent to actually gain admission would probably like been shorter. I'll be sharing my experience from the first year of actually seeking for admission, which was 2015, to when I actually gained the admission. And I'll be sharing some of the lessons I actually learned from each of those experience. So if you're an aspirant, if you're a UTME aspirant seeking admission, then this video is for you. My name is Pelumi, also known as Kenst, a second year medical student of University of Ibadan. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I post educational content, self-development content that I believe that will be helpful to you as a student, as an aspirant. So if you're up for that, kindly hit the subscribe button and hit on the notification bell so you'll be notified every single time I actually post new content. So without further ado, let's get into the video. I would like to share a backstory of my secondary school days. People generally believe that medical students are probably brilliant from secondary school. Even in our secondary schools too, most teachers, principals, proprietors always tend to advise people that are very brilliant to be a doctor. But in my case, it's not the same. I was not like very, very brilliant from secondary school. I'm just like an average guy, I'm not too dull and they're not too bright. All I focus on in secondary school is how I'm going to be able to watch the latest movies and the latest anime, and talking with my friends about character, like a particular character in Bleach, in Naruto. That is what I spent most of my secondary school days doing. I was not like always reading. I was just always watching movie, and then I was also learning taekwondo too. I don't know, probably because of the lot of animes that I was watching. In my SS1, the first test that we did in physics, I got the highest alongside someone else. So I was thinking, oh, time for me to like be the boss and then be moving stuff and all. But then the remaining tests that I did, including the exams, everything was just very bad. And I think one more thing in secondary school is that I was actually quite good at maths. Not like extremely good, but I was like still okay. At least I was like top 10 in class, like in the entire science class. So, but then my further maths results were like very, very bad. I hardly read in secondary school, unless probably you have a test or an exam. For tests, I always read like 4 days before the test. While for exam, I always read like a week before the exam. And almost every time, I'm unable to actually complete the entire syllabus before the exam, because how do you expect to like learn every single thing that you've been taught throughout the whole term in just like a week to the exam? And then you're doing close like 12 subjects, so you obviously can't cover it. So I'm always unable to actually like cover the entire syllabus. So what I always tend to just basically what always saves me is just grace, and then probably some people that know the area of concentration, I'll just read that part and I'll just enter the exam, and then I'll just put down what I know. Another thing I don't really share with people that I don't think I've told anybody probably in my class or anything, is I wrote my WAEC in SS2, my first WAEC in SS2, and I had all my papers, even though the papers are not like, it's not like I had distinctions, but then I had all my papers, and that's basically enough for someone that wrote their WAEC in SS2. Before I wrote my WAEC, I wrote the UTME, and the UTME I had 229. Let me tell you my whole study process for that. For the first UTME I wrote, I was just solving past questions, that's all. I was not reading anything. And the mistake I also made then was I got all these JAM PQs, all these series, and once I solve a question, I'll check the back for the answer. And if you're an aspirant here, you know that most of the answers at the back of the series some of them are always wrong. All the ones that are right, all the ones that are wrong, I just pour everything in my head without actually checking my textbook. As someone that didn't really know much about the whole admission process when I wrote my first UTME, when I saw my score, which is 229, I kind of had this feeling that, oh, this is not my score, I should have gotten higher. Probably because I didn't know the mistake that I made then. But then at the same time, I was happy because this is like my first UTME and I had 229. I even got higher than most people that were in SS3, so I was like feeling myself. After my UTME, we wrote the WAEC. And even for my WAEC, I didn't really even read that much. I didn't even read. For the WAEC, I didn't really study very well. The only subject I knew that I actually studied very well was this physics. It was the civic education. And the reason why I actually studied the civic education was probably it was the first subject that we were actually meant to write. So I spent a lot of my time studying civic. And then after the civic education exam, my eye clear, my eye clear, and I realized that there are a lot of subjects I've not even really read that much. I'm very sure that I won't be the only one that actually experienced it. So if you experience this, can you comment down in the section below and share your experience with me as well too? After seeing my UTME result and my WAEC results, I then realized that the final ordeal for me to actually overcome, enough for me to secure admission that year, was to do very well in my post-UTME. My preparation for my post-UTME was a little bit funny because I told my mom, or I had the impression that, I can't study without actually watching a movie. And you should have realized this thing, that when you're studying for the very first time, you're actually meant to put your whole focus, your whole attention on whatever you are studying. If you are studying stuff for the second time, you don't really need to put much attention as when you are reading it for the first time, because you are trying to actively store more information during that first attempt of actually understanding that concept. But I was telling my mom then that I can't read without watching movies, so I'll spend close to 2.5 as at 2015 to be buying movies. So when I'm watching those movies, I'll be reading, but then I was basically just deceiving myself. So when I get to the post-UTME venue that day, I saw a lot of people that were they were studying, they were reading books, and I was like, what are these people reading? I was feeling like their boss, I was actually feeling myself. Now when I entered into the exam, they served us the question papers, our question paper, and then the answer sheet, and I was trying to answer all the questions in the same order, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, down like that to 100. Until I was on number 25 when the examiner just said, the invigilator said 30 minutes more. I was like, yeah. At that point I was very scared. So I just started skimming through the questions, and for the ones that I knew, and I was shaking on my chair. I was very, very scared. I was actually unable to actually finish the exam. When I left, I was very sad. I knew that I genuinely knew that my performance would not be that good. So when they released the results, I got 48, and I was not happy. I was not happy. I was still insisting that that's not my score, that I did very well, that I did the exam very well, but then genuinely, I knew that the exam was not quite good. Now, the lesson I learned from there is, before you actually go for any exam, test yourself. Do mock exams. Now, mock exams that are going to be similar to the exam that you'll be taking, so that you should be able to know how to actually answer questions. Now, for example, when I started with English. Now, biology could have been first for me, because biology would have been way faster, and there are a lot of questions there that you might most likely know more. As when I've done mock exam before, I would have been able to, I will first answer biology, then after biology, I'll move to chemistry, after chemistry, I'll move to this, and after this, I move to this. Do you get? So make sure that you do mock exams, put yourself in the same settings as you will be in your exam, during your exam, and also be time conscious. And before your exam day to solve questions personally yourself, because after the exam, I heard from some people that they repeated questions. I don't have done those questions before. I would have been way faster, because I already know the answer from me practicing those questions. And another lesson that I would like to share is, be quite honest with yourself. For me now, I was not quite honest with myself. Imagine me putting the bare minimum, studying while watching movie, and expecting that I'll probably get a very good score. Be very honest with yourself. Now, oftentimes you know what you actually need to do to actually attain a certain goal, but because we feel that it is a lot of stress, it requires a lot of inputs, it requires a lot of effort, so we tend to just go for the easy way out, which is just doing other things, watching movie, rather than studying. So make sure that you actually study for your exam before you actually do the exam, and then make sure that you do mock exams. It's very important. Do mock exams. And then I think that's all I have for you for my first year. So in the next video, in another video, I'll be talking about the second year of my seeking admission into the university. So if you like this video, kindly hit the like button. If you have people that you know that this video will be helpful to them, kindly share with them. And if you're a new subscriber, if you're a new viewer, kindly hit the subscribe button. And if you are an old subscriber, thank you so much for watching. See you guys in my next video.